I knew that my skills would not match those of the professionals, but I had to start somewhere. I always wanted to try something that was unusual and something that I would not hear about in everyday life. I grew up having many friends who worked in Circus du Soleil. I would oftentimes go backstage after their performances, and I often wanted to try out everything that they did. About 7 years ago, I started hooping. And then I picked up Boyd, which is this.
Ooh.
Also, I started spinning fire. When it was time to choose my senior project, I decided to focus on something that was both active and involved with circus arts. I wanted to challenge myself and learn something that would help me understand the basics that are used in circus. I chose to improve my balance skills, and anything done in the circus requires balance, so that's where I started. I chose to focus on two main props. The slackline, which is behind the projector, and it's similar to a tightrope or wire, and is used to walk upon. And this wheel, which is called the steer wheel, and is made out of steel. Then I also decided to learn the basics, which I used the rollerbola for. So I learned to simply balance on it. And then I also learned to do things such as hoop on it. I learned to walk on the slackline, and here I'd like to show you a video of what I learned. As soon as I would get onto the slack line, or would start spinning in my steer wheel, I would feel more relaxed and balanced. I would forget about the busy life that surrounded me, and I would be more focused. The wheel and the slack line both became a part of me overall. I would practice on the slack line, both in my yard and at school. I found a rock climbing gym that had a slack line inside. That was where I went to over the winter months. I learned to do the basics, such as walking, standing in place, walking backwards, turning around, kneeling, sitting down, lying down. I also learned different techniques for starting on. So I learned both starting in the middle, starting with a running start, and jumping onto it. Starting out, I had to keep my knees bent, my back straight. I had to be really relaxed, and I had to look straight in front of me over the anchor points, which held the slack line. I'd have to, when walking forward, I would have to put my weight all on the front foot, so that I wouldn't feel less balanced, and I would walk forward like this. Starting out, after I got the basics down, I decided to challenge myself again. And as the rollabola, I added buoy and hoops to the slack line. Now I would like to show you a little bit of what I have learned. Show the running and jumping off start, that was one. And then the second part of my project was the steer wheel, and here I'd like to display a video while I catch my breath. The steering wheel is something that I always dreamed of trying, but I thought that I would never get the chance to actually learn to use it in reality. It is a huge metal hoop that is made out of steel or aluminum and is covered with a thick layer of PVC tubing. I decided to include a little bit of the history because it is a pretty new apparatus and it is interesting to learn about, and not that many people know where it came from. It was invented by Daniel Steer in 1996, and it was named after him in 1998, just the same year as most of my classmates were born. He graduated from the National Circus School in Montreal, and this apparatus formed out of the German wheel, which is basically two hoops that are connected by crossbars and have handles to hold on to. My wheel is approximately 35 pounds, and although it doesn't seem that heavy, but when it's all put together, it's hard to lift it, and it basically doesn't really work from one side. The wheel is the size of the wheel is determined on your height, and is supposed to be about a fist or 4 inches taller than you. The steer wheel is usually made up of about 5 or 6 pieces to make it easier for transportation. When I started looking for a mentor and classes that I could take for the steer wheel, the closest place I found was in Long Island City. I would go there weekly, and after a while I decided to get my own wheel and start practicing more independently. I was lucky to find a gym by my house that let me practice in their racquetball courts. However, soon they found out that the wheel was heavy and the racquetball court's walls were made out of glass, and they decided that they were going to make me leave and not practice there. That was when I started working here. A typical wheel movement is a waltz. It is when you have all your weight on one leg and then you shift over with the other in a circular motion, and it's kind of like walking, so it's like this. And the position to hold the wheel while doing that is like a windsurfing position. So my hands are stretched in front of me, my knees are bent, and my feet are about shoulder length apart. And the wheel, I'm not standing inside the wheel because then I can't extend my arms, but it is in front of me. And now I would like to demonstrate a little bit of what I have learned. As you saw in the video, I also learned to do cartwheels. However, that was with the help of my mentor, and I'm not really sure if I could do it. I probably couldn't do it on my own, so I'm not going to show this. But the technique is like this. So you put your foot down, your left foot down, and you have your hands behind you, and you look straight in front of you, and you have to push as hard as you can with your other foot and extend. And your hands, so that the wheel wouldn't go over your hands, you just go like this, like a handstand or like a cartwheel, so you don't ride over them. Just clarifying, because I usually get a lot of questions. And the wheel is supposed to curve and make a circle when doing that, so it's not supposed to just go straight as a cartwheel usually does. Thank you so much for coming here today. So I'd like to thank my parents and the rest of my family for helping me both morally and with driving me here oftentimes and helping me set up and making videos, just talking to me about it all the time. Also, I'd like to thank my mentors. I had a lot because I was doing a lot of different things. I'd like to thank Randy Cutler, who helped me with my steer wheel, Tasha Benenson, who helped me with my slackline skills, and a few others like Masha Tudetova and Dasha, who helped me. They work in the circus and they were usually far away, but they helped me with everything in general and gave me a lot of tips. I'd like to thank my in-school mentor, Ms. Christophides, for helping me write my speech and keeping me on time. I'd like to thank my advisors, Ms. Radefeld and Mr. Davis and Ms. Monteleone, for helping me keep everything on track too, and for just helping me in general with everything that I had to do for this project. And last but not least, I'd like to thank my class. I love you guys. It's been wonderful to have you.